Someone has gastric flu.
Oh no.
We kind of thought it would be a good idea to do a little bit of a walkthrough sort of thing.
Because it's pretty new.
It's pretty new.
Pretty new.
Absolutely. I think it's quite useful just because there's a few things that when I was playing, because I've kind of put like around about 10-15 hours into it now, which is actually a lot taking into
Given
account.
that it's come out really recently.
It came out it came out on the 6th, which at the time of recording is literally 3 days ago.
Yeah.
So in 3 days, I've spent basically 14 hours playing this game.
Half a day.
Yeah. So you can tell how good this is. It's really I really enjoy this game a lot. Absolutely.
It's very much your sort of thing.
Yeah. So I thought I'd impart some of my advice. So my first thing that I tend to do is I always tend to look for like where the nearest entrance is, which is this Park Lane, also known as Parkland. Yes. Also, yeah, you actually know this now. Yeah, all of these places, like a lot of the names are real names.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's pretty cool,
I like
isn't
that.
it? Sweet. So I then kind of look at these bits. So these blue bits are track blueprints. So it's not where track currently is, but it's where track is going to be. So you can't really move those around, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of make this a bit longer on my existing bit. Just to like there.
Is this like a platform or?
Well, it's going to become a platform. So essentially, if I do a bit of a zoom in, get to infrastructure, which is this little bit here, and then platform. There you go. So that makes it a platform. Now, the most important thing for me is the amount of maximum carriages that it can have. So at the moment, it says max 1 carriage, add 1 more cell for +1 carriage. When I start, especially in the campaign, the first station you get, you'll only really be able to get like 2 carriages anyway. So I tend to maximum work on getting 2 carriages worth of training. So I'm just going to add another cell like that. And there we go. So now we have max 2 carriages, add 5 more for +1 carriage. I'm not going to add more because I don't need it.
Yep.
So I'm just going to click there. And now I've got my platform. We'll get back to that later. Fancy yellow cross hatching. Right, now I'm just going to basically kind of put that in there and kind of start with a basic sort of structure. Right? So that's the entrance. The entrance hasn't been made yet though, so don't worry. I haven't like gone really far ahead. Now there's a few rooms that you'll always need to make for a station to kind of work. You always need to have a utility room and you always need to have a tool room. And the reason is because with the utility room, you'll need to make sure that you can build power and stuff. And the tool room, you'll need to make sure that you can have a megaphone so you can tell people, Oi, stop standing there. Move.
Listen to the cross hatching.
Yeah, listen to the cross hatching. Yeah, no standing in front of the stairs, or else I'll have you. Etc. etc. There we go. Sweet. So I'm just going to build that extra bit so that people have extra places to stop standing. Because they won't listen. I know they won't. So yeah, utility rooms are always minimum 3x3. So I'm going to make this like 4x3. Mainly so then you can make it a bit bigger later.
So then you can say, it's definitely bigger than, minimum requirements.
It's definitely bigger than minimum requirements. It's definitely bigger than zoning laws. And then we're going to have another one. Another like little 3x3 for the tools. That's not a staff room. That is a tool room. Don't worry. The other tools, they go into a staff room.
that one square over there, that's the staff room.
That's the staff room. That's the shadowy place we don't talk about. See, now every station, at least in the UK, has like some sort of little mini lobby sort of bit where you can buy tickets before you then get onto the train. So we're going to kind of make this bit a bit bigger for that. Also, they need space to walk, so let's give them space, right? And then we're going to go into facilities and make a ticket machine.
Although the smaller the avenues, the more likely they're going to have to walk one by one in queue fashion.
Yes, and everyone likes queues here in the UK.
Everyone loves
straight
queue.
up. And then I can make a fence, and the fence will be correct.
Oh wait, yeah, you can't put another one in.
Yeah, no, it won't fit because I need extra 2 cells and I don't want to spend money. Yeah. That's the one thing you want to kind of be mindful of, is that floor costs money. And as much as you'd kind of be like, oh, I could just make a lot of floor, it's relatively cheap. If you make your station too big at the start, then you end up spending a lot more money than you need to for what won't be a huge amount of people coming in and out. And then you'll end up having to sell your floor while your station's open, and it's just really weird. Bins.
Yeah, I've always hated that experience when you go into like an underground station or a train station and suddenly the floor starts disappearing around you.
The floor starts disappearing.
I've always wondered why, and now this game perfectly explains that.
Like, you just walk over to East Putney and you're just like, oh yeah, I just want to I just want to stand and wait for the train. Nope, can't do that anymore. Generators. I always build them like this because it's easier. There you go. So last thing we need to do is build an entrance. Here is our entrance. There we go.
Looks like a fort.
Yeah, this is Fort Metro.
Like,
this is Fort Entrance
like
C.
you were worried about whether that barrier was like impenetrable by the turnstile. This one at the front, no one's gonna get in this place. Like,
everyone's just gonna be like, yeah, you're not getting in. We're going to make sure that you are never arriving ever again.
Like, that's brutal.
Oh yeah, a quick thing that I've just done there. So if you right click on things like turnstiles, you can say where it points to. So this points to a platform. And it changed the little signs above. Look, see? That's going to the red line. So I have to right click on this as well. And then tell it where people want to get on. So people can either get on one side, both sides, or the other side.
Oh.
I'm going to tell them to get on that side because I haven't got like a way for them to get across to get to the other side.
I mean, jump.
They could. It's not really going to work out that well. Like, they have to get in and then jump before the train arrives.
Just jump across.
And now we can open the station. So we right click and click open. There we go. Yay.
Why are they... who has ever cheered going into like a transport location?
A train station.
Yeah.
They'd be like, yay, I could get to work. There we go. And that's the station. And they're starting to buy tickets and stuff.
Very cool.
Wow, everyone's coming 2 by 2. It's like Noah's station.
Just ruined the situation coming in by yourself. Oh wait,
Are you the same?
Yep. Oh, now it's ruined.
So now we need to get the train to come. So now that it's due, we click on the platform and the train arrives.
Wait, so you had to make that train appear?
Yeah, you have to click on the platform to get to do it.
Oh.
There are ways later on in the game where you can like make it so you press a button instead, and then there's ways to even like automate it, but at the moment it's click the platform.
So you actually have to control that side.
Yes.
That's quite cool. I didn't realize that.
What? Wow, you guys buy tickets but you don't want to get on the train? There we go. Nice.
They're just here for a grand opening. They're unfortunately, because they don't buy a ticket, they can only see the trash can, but that's all right. It's a good trash can.
Now, because I've transported some people, I have 4 of these bond things. So I can go into this procurement bit and I can buy things like more like
trash
upgrades
cans
and stuff. So I can either buy trash cans or lighting, which I'm going to do right now because a lot of them are going to complain that it's not light. An uncomfy bench so that they can sit down. And also a megaphone because that's very useful. And then with the 2 that I have left, I'm going to get a staff member. Who do I want? Samuel, Ali, or Ruby Ahmed?
What are their job roles? What are they doing?
They do what I tell them to.
Okay, well, I mean, he's pretty strong, but his stamina's quite low. So maybe go for her because she's a bit more of an all-rounder and you don't have a whole lot of staff members.
Yeah, and she's also very quick already.
Yeah, there you go.
Look, she's got 4 speed.
Wow, that's a proportionately very big megaphone.
Very big.
They are going to make a lot of noise with that megaphone.
So, I'm going to tell Ahmed to pick up the megaphone. And the shortcut I did, of course, is just by pressing number 1 because that's what she's got next to her name. And then I'm going to tell her to go there. And what you'll see she does with the megaphone, and this is why it's the best tool to get first, in my opinion, is that she kind of hurries people up and makes sure that people don't feel like they're too crowded. Almost like a shepherd for the station.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ahmed the
Shepherd.
station shepherd.
The station shepherd. And then what I'm going to do is get some lights.
So what happens if you forget to make the train arrive?
They just more people just end up piling into the station and nothing happens. Sweet. I've got some more bonds now, so I might be able to actually make it a bigger train. Yes, there we go, good. Yay, and this is how you get most of your stuff, is mainly through getting bonds and that. So most of it is like, how can you get more people to get onto the train so that you get more bonds?
So that's how you get more bonds?
Yeah, just getting people like out of the station essentially.
Okay.
What it calls shifting commuters in this game, which is pretty British. Yeah.
That lady there wanted a bench.
Oh, she wanted a bench?
Yeah.
Oh, let's build
they
a
want
bench.
a bench, so.
Bench,
Yeah.
bench.
They're all wanting benches.
I have an uncomfy bench. Also, at the start of the game, it's completely fine for you to have like a relatively poor like reputation. Like, in fact, me actually being able to maintain it at 48 is pretty good.
Yeah, that is pretty good. Because, like I say before, every time I've looked over, it's suddenly been like really
10.
dissatisfied 10%.
Yeah.
Like,
I have actually failed at this game as well. Because if you get to 0, you lose. Yeah. So, capacitors are extremely useful because what they allow you to do is essentially store a little bit of electricity when it's not being used. So then that way, when you have a train that comes in, it uses up a lot of power. The turnstile uses more power when it's in use than when it's like not. And things like the ticket machine use like, I think, like double the power when they're actually being interacted with rather than when they're just staying there. So if you have that little capacitor thing, then what it does is it kind of stores all of the power that you make extra when they're not in use, so that when things are in use, you don't all of a sudden just run out of power all everywhere.
10:54.
There we go. Sweet. So now we have a little wheelie bin. Now Ahmed can only have one tool at a time on her. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get another member of staff because I can actually afford it with the money I have.
we're gonna have to get the super strong guy.
Super strong Samuel Ali. Now this is actually good. Strong characters are a bit more useful sometimes. It depends. The good thing with Ahmed is that she's quick, so it's really easy for her to get to places.
Yeah.
But with Ali, as much as he's like slow, he can hold more things because he's stronger. So if I had way more tools, like if I wanted him to be both the person who's like getting people to go places and also to be taking out the trash, I could get him to hold both a megaphone and the litter picker, right? Yeah. They also have other bits, which I'll explain real quick. So they have perception, which is essentially how far they can see. So like, for example, with Ali, he has quite high perceptions. So even when I just got him to go and get the litter picker, I didn't need to then put him into an area where there's litter. He already went and picked it up.
It's my trash senses are tingling.
Yeah, your trash senses. Your perception is your trash senses.
Yeah.
Are they tingling or are they human? Etc, etc. Speed is, of course, how fast they can walk. Stamina is how quickly they reload after they do something. So Ali just picked up some trash, but it's taking him long to reload after he's done it. If he had higher stamina, it would reload a lot quicker. And strength is how many things they can carry at once, basically.
Nice.
Yeah. And they also get XP depending on how well they do their jobs. So if they level up, then you can like increase their stats.
Nice, so you can improve a lower down skill to make it better.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's why at the start of the game, I normally suggest don't spend a lot of money on like a really expensive member of staff that has like the perfect stats, because you could always get like a bad one that will work for your station when it's small and then level them up to make them better when it gets big.
Cool.
And she's leveled up. Right, Ruby Ahmed has leveled up. So when you level up, you right click and you can add anything into any one of these bits.
So maybe strength, because then she can hold more?
Yes, because if she goes on to 3 strength, she can hold another tool, so we'll do that. There we go. When you level them up as well, they start to become more expensive to hire, but if anything, it's not too bad, because, yeah, again, having someone gradually get more expensive rather than all of a sudden just having a really expensive member of staff is better. Staff TV set. Buy the TV set. There we go.
To me, the TV set is more interesting than the arcade machine.
Yeah, because you get to have, real TV.
Mm.
There we go. Sweet. And I've got enough money. I've got some money as well. Thank you very much for giving me money for getting them a TV set. The reason the TV set is so good is that it's a really quick way to get them to stop being unhappy.
Yay! So now she gets to watch colours on the screen.
Yeah, what colours are they?
The best ones.
Oh, those are some really
the
nice
best
colours. Yeah.
That's quite nice. It goes pastel. Pastel colours.
Oh, those tapes underneath. Just Barney the dinosaur.
Reruns of VHS Friends and Buffy Vampire.
So now it's nighttime, which is why everyone's going away and why we can't have trains. That happens at 11 o'clock every night. So what I usually do is I then use this as a reason to then go and do all of the random stuff that needs to be done. So you'll need a jerry can and a toolkit by the time that it comes to night. So you want to make sure that you at least have 2 bonds by the end of the day.
Okay.
At least your first day. And some money as well. And this is what you do. So you get the jerry can, you get the toolkit, you equip one of them with the jerry can, because you'll need it. You also turn off high speed because you don't want to accidentally blast through the entire night. The reason you need the jerry can is because you need to fill up the generators with fuel from that fuel barrel.
Okay.
And the reason you want to have the toolkit is that you want to every night go down and repair the turnstiles and your ticket machine.
Okay.
2 reasons. Firstly, if those break down during the middle of the day, it's really annoying to then have to go and fix because you'll have to take time out of the other tasks that you have to do it.
And also crowding because everyone will
be waiting, yeah. And also it's great because repairing stuff lets your characters level up. So it gives them experience every time they repair stuff. So getting them to go around and do some repairs is good in general because it's like, oh sweet, they can get like little EXP at the night.
What I'm more concerned by is, do these people live here now?
Yes, they now live here. They now live in this. They now live in the station. They never go home.
Okay.
And now the only downside with repairing is because they're not broken. You have to manually go and select each one of the ones that you want to repair. But it's like a small cost to pay rather. Because you can just kind of like queue them up realistically. I can kind of just go, sweet, you've repaired that, so now go and repair this thing. Now we get to see it close up as well. Just shaking a wrench at it and going, yep, this is fixed now. And of course we can rotate.
Ooh.
He's fixing that bit that you put money in to buy a card. Oh, it's meant to be an Oyster card. Ah.
Yeah, he's got a ticket machine.
It's got a little Oyster card. For anyone who's not viewing in the UK, here's an Oyster card. There you go. Enjoy. Right. I think that's pretty much all of the stuff that needs to be done. Let's double check the bins. Okay, there's some trash in some of the bins, so let's go and clear them out. Yeah. Because it's not at like a critical level, they won't automatically go and empty it, so you kind of have to go and do it yourself. Yeah. Now, if you were limited on money, what you can do is you can go into staff and you can go into on shift and you can tell them to go home. So you can take them off shift.
Okay.
They won't actually regain their well-being, which is something very important, which I have to deal with soon because she's in despair at the moment.
Oh.
But it will at least mean that you don't have to pay for them while they're at home. And it saves you a bit of money. So if you only needed one of these guys here, like Ali could be here on his own and I could be saving money by sending Ahmed home. Because Ali can hold like both the trash picker and the toolkit, or like both the jerry can and the toolkit, and he could do both things. So well-being. Once you do your first night, you're going to want to build a staff room. Otherwise, your members of staff are going to be very unhappy. And it usually doesn't work out well. So you want to build it using the staff room button. Same thing, minimum is 3x3. I make it the minimum because you can fit everything in there, and the 4 people will still fit in there whether they like it or not. And then you want to go into amenities, and you want to just get all of the basic amenities as well.
Oh, it's still called uncomfy. uncomfy chair.
Yeah, they don't get good stuff. I mean, hell, look, it looks like I can level up to get an arcade machine, but they're never getting that. Sorry. Okay, maybe they will. Maybe I am being a bit too harsh.
But you can give them a medicine cabinet.
Yeah, that's in case they need to heal themselves. Sweet. So, amenities and uncomfy chair, vending machine, and water. There we go. That is their break room. And then you can just go into that room. And then once you send them into that room, they'll just hang out in there. You can also automate it, so you can like assign them breaks in their schedule.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then they just go there on their own automatically.
Oh, she's having a break time cry.
Yeah, a break time cry. Everyone loves the break time cry.
I like the idea that there's just this one lady who's come in and he's already just shouting at her from across the turnstile with a megaphone.
Just go like, get onto this train!
Buy your ticket quicker!
Buy it quicker!
It stayed at a relative 48% happiness, which is good.
Yeah. So yeah, if anything, the biggest thing you can ask for at the start of the game isn't necessarily getting to something like 60 or 70% happiness, because like your customers will have a lot of needs. But the best thing you can hope for is like at least maintaining above like 40, I would say. Like if you're maintaining above 40, you're doing well.
10:54.
There we go. And here's our little to-do list. So if you do these things, then you can basically end up getting little bits of extra grants and stuff. So for example, having a station reputation of at least 75 gets you some money. Getting 100 gets you 2,000.
Oh wow! If you build a small plant, you get money.
Oh, I need to build
a small plant?
Yeah, I want to build a small plant. Yeah, and they kind of come in and out every so often, so it's good to keep an eye on those, because if you're running low on money, it's a really great way to spend hardly anything and then get lots of stuff. Plant. Build it. Done.
There you go. Yay!
Oh, now I have to get a watering can. Or else it will die. Reputation is kind of going up, which is good, because it means that at least we're doing things well. If you ever want to check why your reputation goes down, it's usually best to have a little click on station reputation. And then if you go onto like rep today, it shows you what in the day has caused you the issue. So a lot of it has been high prices. And overcrowded, basically. Yeah.
That's a lie. It's not overcrowded.
It's not really overcrowded. Well, it kind of does around the platform.
And so on. A bit, yeah, I guess so.
But then with overcrowding, that's easily resolved by like having people with megaphones. That's normally just like a thing that doesn't really affect too much.
Okay.
High prices is something that we can change. So let's have a look at that. So we're going to right click on the little ticket machine. I'm just going to bring the price down to like £7. If anything, in some newer stations, it's really good to do that before you even open. Because then that way, even though your reputation will kind of take a hit because you're a small station, you'll have like really basic problems. Because the ticket's really cheap, that will kind of help to stop it from going down as quickly. Yeah. And at the end of the day, you get an overall look of like what your reputation is. So my rep went up from 48 to 57, which is good. Most of it was because I was overcrowded, that's the negative, but everything else was really good. Like, they liked that they completed their journey. They liked how it looks. They liked that the place is well lit. And also they found the tickets cheap, which is why it says retail bargain on it. Good. I haven't got a footbridge and a staircase, but I almost do. I just have to earn 2 more bonds for a footbridge. While we're waiting to unlock a footbridge, which I think I might have already done because I might have actually earned 2 bonds.
Oh, really? In that time?
Yeah. We're going to have a look at this side. So, this side also has an entrance. Let us build an entrance. So, I'm going to start building like a second little mini station. I have 8,000, so I have the money for this, but you're going to need around about like 8,000, 10,000 to build like a second entrance. Just because you'll need to have a similar amount of money that you did at the start. It is relatively expensive to do the floors. So let's add in some floor here. Now, if anything, all of this concourse, the plus side is that all of this was actually available at the start. However, I'm going to pause what I'm doing right now because someone has gastric flu.
Oh no.
Yeah. How do you solve that?
Yeah.
Right.
How do you
So
solve that?
we go to tools. There's a first aid tool, so you get that. I'm also going to get a crime desk because if there's first aid, there's likely going to be some naughty crims about. Some of the naughty ones. And now we're going to expand our tool room.
We need to keep our station well lit.
Yes, absolutely. It needs to be well lit without the crims. So, expanding the tool room. Easiest way is if you've made it a 3 wide room, then it's really easy. Because you basically extend it with the same width and then extend the tool room afterwards. The good thing is that with tools, they can share that free space in the middle. So this is like the most efficient way to make a small room that can still hold a lot of stuff.
Fit everything into it.
Absolutely. So I'm going to add a first aid kit and a crime desk. And we're going to make Ali Monsieur Crime and also medical. So you're going to take that, and you're also going to take this.
I like how he's got so many responsibilities, and then Ahmed's just. I use the
megaphone to shout at people.
Like, that's my job.
There we go. So Ali now has just healed that person using the little thing, using the first aid thing. There we go. So we have £8,000, which is good enough for us to be able to do some building. So let's do some of that. So I'm going to make a second entrance here. And I think I can procure a footbridge. Yes, I can. Sweet. So procure a footbridge. Can't afford a platform 2, but that's okay for now. At the moment, we shall just make things as if we're going to have them working. So let's make a ticket machine here.
Wait, but why are you adding all this in if you don't have this?
A second platform. So then that way when I unlock it, I can just open it straight away.
Oh, okay.
And added another turnstile. Yay! Look at how big this station is going to be on this side. I might have to move these down a bit, actually. So you long press to move things. If you move things in the day, it affects your reputation. So you want to move things in the night.
People are like, oh, the poltergeist!
Yeah, it's like Dementor. There we go. So you can see even with like already a relatively decent concourse that already existed, it still cost me around about £3,000 to be able to kit out this bit of the station.
Oh, yeah. It costs quite a bit.
Yeah, and that's even without making like another platform or building footbridges or anything like that. So you kind of want to make sure that you have quite a lot of spare money if you're doing this in campaign mode. Nice, I have bonds now, so let's pause and let's make some more stations. So, things you need to be able to make a platform 2. You will always need a footbridge. Because there is no other way to get around unless what you're not going to do is have them linked together. So if, for example, I wasn't going to have the other entrance linked to this one, so if this was only going to be for that platform here, and this entrance was only going to be for that platform there, then I might be able to get away without using a footbridge. But realistically, best idea, always get a footbridge. There are 3 bonds. And then after that, you want to get the platform 2. There we go. I rotated because I had the wrong button pressed, but no matter. So now let us get infrastructure and platform. Now, when you can unlock a second platform, you will likely also have the ability to have 3 carriages in the campaign. So you'll want to make sure that you can have 3 carriages maximum on that platform. So
Is that just because you'll have enough money to make 3 carriages for a platform at that point?
Well, it won't necessarily be a money thing. It will be a lot more a thing of like having the ability in the first place. Because when you're playing on the campaign, certain things are locked out per stage. So in the first stage, you can only get like 2 carriages. In the second stage, you can get 3 carriages in a second platform and things like that. So what I'm not going to do, surprisingly, is I'm not going to say that that side is where people get on. I'm actually going to get people to go on this side because it's got more space. Right. So I'm going to change it through here to be a lighting point on that side. And I'm also going to change this one to be the lighting point on that side over there.
Okay.
Because what you don't want to do is block the doors like by accident. So tools, I'm going to go onto, it was infrastructure and footbridge. And
Oh, that's fun.
Little bit of a wide one like that.
That's very cute. I like that design.
There we go. I'm actually going to sell that other one because I don't really need it. I just need 2 there. And then I also need to add signage here to go to platform 2. Now, if you're setting it up for platforms, for signs, you can just right-click and add it in, and then it adds it in as like a second color on there.
Okay.
And I'm basically just going to do the same on the other side. So I'm going to set up most of my turnstiles to be platform 1 and 2. It's great because then you have flow control, because if, like, for example, this entrance had like different ways for people to get around, I could set some of it to be platform 1 and some of it to be platform 2.
Yeah.
And then kind of have a way where people can then end up going between the platforms throughout the station otherwise.
It's very cute. It's starting to look like a real little station.
There we go. And now we have people waiting at platform 2.
Yay!
Trade, arrive. I haven't got power to let the trade arrive.
10:54.
Nice. Now, when you have a station that starts to get bigger, you want to get some more staff members. So let's go into applicants and see who we have. Right, I'm going to need you to go to the other side of the station. I'm going to need you to water those plants. Thank you. I'm going to sell one of these ticket machines because I don't think there's enough people here to be using all 3 of them.
The nice thing about this sort of game is, like, even though I guess there's a fair few like tutorials and stuff that maybe help out with things. It's like, because you're buying things step by step by step, it's introducing a new kind of feature each time.
Absolutely.
So
it kind of helps to keep it like progressive, and it does help to guide you through it. Yeah. But yeah, that is essentially
a little intro.
A little like introductory walkthrough if you're having difficulty with the game. I think the biggest bit with the game that I would suggest in terms of like my advice is always start like really small. Don't try and start big and go like, oh, I'll make a big station that I can just put other things into later, because that will just waste a lot of money. It's really easy to expand a station out later. So you might as well just do that, because worst case, you can just sell everything if you have a lot of floating money, and then just
remember, you can just sell that floor.
Just sell that floor away. Yeah, absolutely. If you run out of money, literally the best thing to do, and in fact, I'm going to do that right now just to show you, this line of floor you don't need. I don't need this, and I don't need that. So I'm just going to sell that floor. That's £360 right there. That's like 2 generators. Wait, no, it's 1 generator, or like 2 capacitors, right? So like literally you can save a crap ton of money just by doing that. Really great game. Absolutely play it. And I hope that if you are playing it, you've enjoyed this walkthrough. Yet again, if you're new, feel free to leave a like and also subscribe if you liked and felt like you wanted to subscribe. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.